And the weather provides that for you.
Okay, great.
It wouldn't be a Tuesday without something to complain about and something to celebrate, right? Well, right now it's time to take a coffee break, and we are starting with a new addition to Earth's orbit.
Earth is going to have a second moon for 2 months. How cool is this?
That
Like in
is
Star
cool.
Wars.
I think it's amazing. Yes, astronomers are calling it 2024 PT5. The asteroid is about as big as a city bus, so much smaller than our moon. But it's considered one since it will be captured by Earth's gravity for a set amount of time. I just want to know how this is all going to play into my astrological sign. And will Mercury be in retrograde at the same time? Most reports say the asteroid will be too high to see with our own eyes and even small telescopes. But astronomers may be able to catch a glimpse of it with professional equipment. And this is only the 5th mini-moon to ever orbit Earth.
As long as they send back pictures like that, it's still pretty cool.
And it hopefully doesn't land. Keep it in orbit. Keep it in orbit. That's what we want.
Didn't think of that, Paul. Thanks for
That
the
would
reality
make it
check.
Tuesday. That would be the one thing to complain about today.
Should we be more concerned hearing that from you?
Yeah, I know.
I have no say in that whatsoever.
So I wonder if you can go up to Griffith and use one of their telescopes and see it, because that would be pretty cool for kids to see.
Amazing.
Everybody likes to travel with their pets.
Yes.
It's funny, I segue off the astronomy story.
Okay, go.
It's getting tougher for people to find pet-friendly places within their budget. We talk about prices going up. A lot of apartment complexes, well, they're now charging really hefty pet deposits, additional rent monthly for cats and dogs. Dogs are typically more expensive than cats. These non-refundable fees range from $300 to $500, and then pet rent can be as high as $100 a month. Animal shelters say the extra cost is contributing to a pet abandonment crisis. We just talked about how people can't afford things. Now you're going to charge them more just to have a pet in the house or apartment, since some tenants are being forced to choose between having a place to live or giving up their cherished family member. That, in my opinion, shouldn't be happening that somebody has to give up their pet because they can't afford the rent for the pet.
Also, kids are more destructive than pets many times, and we don't charge.
We don't
child
upcharge for
rent,
kids
right?
typically.
Well, you wonder if people are, I don't know, landlords could be profiling people with kids though. They're not
true.
supposed
That's
to,
true.
but
It's illegal to do so.
I also looked up and I think this, I can't tell. There was a law that was supposed to come on the books in California.
With the junk fees, because this was actually supposed to be
Attached to
part
that?
of the junk fee. Yes.
So it looks like it passed where there is no pet rent here anymore.
Good.
Yeah, because the idea behind pet rent is you're not, okay, so if you have a pet deposit, the idea behind that is if your pet damages something, it'll come out of that. But pet rent, you're essentially getting nothing for that, right? You're just giving them money for your pet to stay there, but they're not paying for your pet to be there. They're not giving you any extra amenities for your pet. So it's a junk fee. And California, I will say, is very good at eliminating those junk fees, because usually it's just a way for large businesses to pass on big costs to us when we don't get anything in return.
Got it.
Okay, can I just play devil's advocate really fast? As a pet owner, pets can do a lot of damage, and sometimes the deposit won't cover that much damage, and then the landlord, maybe they're not a big company, maybe it's like a small single landlord who has one extra property, is stuck with a huge bill.
That I understand. I mean, obviously, if you have damage beyond your deposit, that's what small claims court is for. You can go up to $10,000 on that. I mean, I guess a dog could do more than $10K in damage, but that would be pretty
But
tough.
also the time and money of taking off work to go to small claims court, maybe it's in a different state, not super realistic.
It's pretty easy to go to small claims court. I always tell people that.
Have you been to small claims court?
I have.
We'll be over here when you guys are done.
I've covered it. I've covered it. Because people do have good resolutions that way, and it's under $100 to file. So,
Hi, Jamie, any
just an
plans
idea.
for later?
You want to go to lunch?
An Olympic pistol shooter's cool demeanor has landed her another spot on the small screen. Kim Yi-ji has been cast as an assassin in a South Korean TV series.
That's amazing.
This is the silver medalist's first acting role, and it's thanks to her viral look and stellar performance, of course. People on the internet instantly compared Yi-ji to action heroes like James Bond and John Wick. The Olympian has been featured in magazines and fashion ads since her debut, but she says her athletic career remains her top priority. But how perfect is she?
Amazing. Well, I love, she's always got the hand like just casually as she's pointing. It's like she's amazing.
Shooting for 500 yards and hitting a small target.
Yeah.
You couldn't come up with something better.
At least she doesn't need a stunt double, right?
Nope.
Well, Kate Winslet is revealing how one of the most iconic scenes in Titanic was filmed. This scene right here, everybody knows that, or at least I hope they do. The actress was asked about the door scene at a Q&A for her new movie, and she revealed the water wasn't anywhere near as deep as it looked on screen. Winslet said DiCaprio was actually kneeling the whole time.
No.
So it wasn't as challenging as it looked. The door scene has been hotly debated since the movie's premiere because fans believe both Jack and Rose could have fit on top of it.
They could
Although
have.
weight-wise, would it have held them? I don't know. But you wouldn't have this movie if you didn't have.
They both live. It's
Never Let
over.
Go, Jack. I mean,
I know, but they could have turned it into like a sequel, like a great love story. We could have had, you know, Titanic
Door.
2. Yeah.
Titanic
but
2,
it
The
never
Door.
would have been as good as the original, and it would have ruined it.
But this proves they're great actors.
yeah, I mean,
This
it
actually
was-
ruins it for me a little.
Really?
Like, yeah, like thinking back, because they
Did you
look like
think they were in the ocean
No,
and that
I
he was
didn't.
really going to drop to the bottom
It
of the
was
sea?
really an iceberg.
No.
But I
And they
think
were really cold?
They
I don't
filmed
know.
most of that down in Mexico, because I remember at the time I was
Well,
living
the
in
water's
San Diego.
really cold
Yeah.
there, so.
Well, I think that was all done in a soundstage. I don't think they were actually in the ocean. But I will say, being wet for that long.
See, it's all bursting my bubble.
But we've covered rain, right? As
Yeah.
reporters, when you're standing out for like a full shift wet, you're so miserable, even if you get back in the van and turn on the heat. So I will say kudos to them, because they were wet for what? Probably months at a time.
Thank you for that, Christine.
Even if he was only on his knees.
And that's today's coffee break.
Now you can get your Kcal news, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.